that is our image to ourselves of our city, as well as the image of Chicago to the rest of the world. And if you can see it, but you can't get there, all the possibility of Chicago just passes you by. And building this and modernizing the entire Red Line South, and today when we cut the ribbon, we're actually cutting the ribbon on a project that we've been advocating for 30 years, but finally got it done in the last 7 years. It is actually cutting a ribbon on an opportunity, and I want to do something practical as somebody who takes the train 3 days a week to work, as I did this morning, as I did yesterday. If you're going at 55 miles an hour, not 15, and you don't have to prepare for 15 miles an hour, you get more time with your kids at the breakfast table. You get a chance to go over their homework. These are not just things that we think about on a train. Now, I take the train in the morning. I love this conductor because he actually entertains you while the train's going. But that's part of your routine. But I can prepare, and I know it's 31 minutes from my front door of my house to the front door of my office. If you go at 55 miles an hour, not 15, you get more time with your family. You can prepare and explain and know how your day is going to go. But as the pastor also said, not only can you see all that opportunity, this links you to a city, and it makes sure that the people that live on the south side are part of the entire city of Chicago, not cut off from the rest of the city of Chicago. And this does lay the foundation now that we have modernized the entire system to now make sure the dream that we've all talked about, we've all discussed, we have planned. We're now cutting the ribbon for embarking on the next journey, which is all the way to 130th Street and the 4 stations. Yes. So the rest of the city of Chicago can be part of the city of Chicago, not apart from the city of Chicago. Now, I was telling Dorval this story. The way we got this funded, half this building, $200+ million, half of it came from the federal government. I went with our team for a meeting with Ray LaHood when he was Secretary of Transportation. And we had 3 projects. One was the long distance parking and car rental at O'Hare. That was a TIFIA loan. Check. And we showed them and we got the resources to do it and we got the TIFIA loan. The second project, the Riverwalk. No public money from the city of Chicago, $95 million from the federal government. Check. Got that. And in the meeting, it was all Ray LaHood's team. I showed Ray, at that point we showed him a video of kids dodging between buses to get to the train. I said, now what kind of city allows kids to run between buses where bus drivers can't see them so they can get to a train to be on school on time, and then they have that type of safety risk. And that video and that meeting ended up being, I think the TIFIA loan was $80 million. The Tiger Grant was another $17 million, and that became half the funding that allowed us to actually then fund this project. And I also want to say, it also set, people don't know this, a separate thing, it set the new standard for the CTA on minority and women-owned businesses and minority and women-owned workers here working on projects. We never thought we could hit that number, and this project showed that we were shooting too low, and if you set high standards, you can make sure that everybody not only has access to the station, but kids who go to school can see men and women who look like them building this project. And that, kids cannot be what they cannot see. But kids can be what they can see. If they see men and women who look like them building a station, laying the wire, putting the concrete down, they can envision themselves one day being just like that. And that means we are opening up a not just new opportunity, we're actually raising the sights of our children who can see themselves in a different light and envision themselves. So today is the end of a long project. Now remember, this got open when Richard Nixon was president. I'll tell you about how history comes back. I feel like it's back again. And we put a man on the moon, and the Chinese just did that. So we're cutting a ribbon on this. We've laid a foundation today that not only is going to pay dividends today, tomorrow, but for decades to come. And this is now the new standard of what a CTA station should look like and what the opportunity should come with that. I do want to say, and I tell that story about bringing resources from the federal government, because I don't believe they're going to get a transportation bill. I hope they do. But I know one thing, that if we want to build that Red Line South, we need Springfield to get in the game of investing in the future. Cannot have a 21st century economy built on a 20th century foundation. It doesn't cut it. And I'm so happy that Senator Sims is here, because he has been a tireless advocate for the city of Chicago, a tireless advocate for the South Side. And with him there, I have all the confidence that we'll get a transportation bill. Or as Jerry Maguire used to say, show me the money. But on a serious note, we need Springfield to be part of investing in our future. And that means we need a transportation bill. We haven't had a transportation bill, a real transportation bill, in years from Springfield. Other states have done it. This is a unique opportunity, and I would hope the legislature will work with our new governor so we can get the investments and they take 130th Street off the drawing boards, off the blueprints, and let's make it a reality for the residents of the South Side of Chicago. Senator Sims.